goodbye. I've sustained 2 serious injuries walking across Germany and Sweden by using the wrong shoes. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. But first, we need to bust some myths. It goes something like this. Hiking boots are the best boots for hiking because they protect your ankle and they keep your feet dry in the rain. Unfortunately, there's no scientific evidence to support the claim that high-top shoes protect your ankles better from injury than low-top shoes. And there have been a number of studies that tested exactly this. Let me quote one study. Conclusion: the renouncement of a high-top shoe did not lead to an increased rate of foot and ankle injury in the population study. However, comfort is higher and fatigue less in the low-top shoe. There's even a study for the use in basketball that found that high-top shoes may be more prone to injury as they impair your sense of tripping. Okay, but surely these Gore-Tex boots that I dumped in the trash earlier will keep my feet dry in the rain, right? Right? Gore-Tex works by using a membrane whose pores are large enough to let the sweat vapor exit, but small enough to prevent raindrops from entering. In theory, this checks out, but in actuality, Gore-Tex's breathability is highly limited, and it gets significantly worse the moment the shoes wet out from heavy rain. Plus, when that happens, you're also gonna get condensation inside the shoe from the wet outer layer. One more thing, once there's water inside the Gore-Tex shoe, there's no way for it to drain out. Assuming you use gaiters in combination with rain pants to prevent rain from entering through the top of the shoe, then yes, rain is not going to enter your shoe, but also the sweat is not going to be able to exit and evaporate, hence your feet becoming wet. And let me tell you, once boots get wet, they are incredibly difficult to get dry again. Here are some of my ridiculous attempts of achieving that. Hiking boots are also rigid and heavy, which makes them more prone to cause blisters. Mind you, wet feet also add to that. About a week into my trip, I had multiple blisters as well as an open wound on the back of my foot. Yeah, the wound is not looking good. It got so bad that I actually preferred walking barefoot. I feel free. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think it's really a problem with the naming. If only the name would better reflect their use case, which is why I started a petition to rename them to sweaty blister boots. So, here's my first suggestion. Hiking sandals, the German classic. These really saved me on my Germany trip, and I think they're genuinely a good option. But you may be thinking, but what about the rain? Yes, these do not protect you from the rain, obviously, but the best way to stay dry while hiking is actually through breathability. So yes, they're gonna get wet, but they're gonna dry very, very quickly. This is the most breathable option there is. And even more so when you're using merino wool socks, which wick the moisture away from your foot to get them even quicker to evaporate. Hiking sandals are also quite light, which ease the burden on your legs and feet. You can think of it like your legs are lifting weights with every step, and steps add up very quickly while you're hiking. Hiking sandals also tend to be cheaper, but there are some downsides to consider. So they definitely provide less stability and less protection for your ankle compared to low-top shoes. So I wouldn't recommend them for more challenging hikes that involve climbing. Most annoyingly though, I find that you can very easily get small stones stuck underneath your foot, and oftentimes it's quite easy to get them out without unstrapping the sandals and shaking it out. Next up, let's talk about barefoot shoes. I feel like there was a lot of hype about these. Also very breathable, very light, and very unlikely to get blisters in them. Actually, let's get back to that, because these were the shoes that gave me my second injury. So stress fractures generally heal on their own. So I guess I just need to get home now. I ended up getting a stress injury and major blisters on my soles, all due to a lack of padding. Now I know there are people that have made barefoot shoes work for them for through hiking. My only advice to you would be to not get the cheap ones like I did, and to make sure that the ones you're getting have a lot of padding on the backside. So this is what I ended up replacing the Barefoot shoes with, and it's what I've been using ever since, the trail running shoe. Very light, very breathable, and combined with some good hiking socks. I use the mid-weight Darn Tough hiking socks. I basically get no blisters. My favorites so far are the Lone Peak Ultra, which sport a larger toe box for even less blister potential. The only downside I can think of is that they aren't the most cheap and the most durable. They last around 500 to 700 miles, but you can save a bunch of money if you get last year's version instead for basically the exact same shoe. There's typically very little difference from year to year. Okay, that's it. Hopefully you got something useful out of it, and even if it was laughing about my misadventures. And if you did, I would appreciate a like, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Ooh, that was painful. That was painful.